Chosen one. Heaven interrupts your Thursday right now. Stop scrolling. Stop wandering in your thoughts. Because this moment has been written long before you even arrived here. The world moves fast. But this is not chance. Not coincidence. Heaven has pressed pause so you would hear this word. You are not like the rest. You were never made to blend in. You carry a mark. And the weight of that mark is calling you even now. Every Thursday, the world treats as ordinary, but not this one, not for you, because you are being summoned to lift your eyes beyond the noise, beyond the screens, beyond the routine. This day carries a message you cannot skip, for heaven does not waste words. And this word is being etched into your spirit as a reminder that your life carries divine intent. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are chosen. Listen carefully. There are seasons when heaven whispers, and there are moments when heaven roars. Today is a roar. You may feel like you've stumbled here by chance, but in truth, you have been guided. That restless stirring in your heart, the unanswered questions in the night, the deep longing you cannot explain. These are signals that destiny is chasing you down. You may think this is just another message, but your spirit knows the difference. Something deep within you leaps when truth touches it. That leap is proof you are hearing heaven, not human words. And this moment cannot be ignored. The Spirit interrupts not to entertain, but to awaken. This Thursday becomes holy ground beneath your feet. Every distraction loses its grip when destiny calls. Chosen one. Your response now shapes the road ahead. Your yes shifts atmospheres beyond what you can see. It is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 42, verse 31. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. Beloved, this is not poetry. It is a decree over your life. You have been tired, worn down, feeling like your strength is gone. Yet heaven declares renewal. You are about to soar. Chosen one. The enemy has tried to bury you under distractions and disappointments. He has whispered lies that you are average, that you are forgotten. But hear me, you are marked. You were set apart before you drew your first breath. Your calling is not small. Your identity is not random. Every attack on your life has been because darkness recognized the light within you before you even recognized it yourself. You may think you have failed too many times, drifted too far, or wasted too many years. But heaven does not measure time the way men do. Every detour, every scar, every moment of silence has been gathered and will be redeemed. What looked like delay has been training. What felt like rejection has been protection. What seemed like the end has only been the preparation for the beginning. This Thursday, heaven marks a line in your story, a before and an after. You will no longer live in shadows. You will no longer accept smallness as your portion. The light you carry is not just for you, it is for others. When you rise, others will rise. When you walk in obedience, chains will fall from those connected to you. That is why this cannot be ignored. This is not just about your peace. It is about generations tied to your yes. The crown prepared for you is real. The authority waiting for you is weighty. The enemy has tried to silence you because he knows what happens when you step into it. But you are not standing here by mistake. You are here because heaven has interrupted your day, pulled you aside, and said, "Listen, Emson, this is your confirmation, your divine interruption, your sacred appointment. So now, do not just let these words pass you by. Seal it. Act on it. Obey the stirring in your spirit. And as a sign that you are hearing, as a prophetic act that you are not going to let this pass, I call you right now to respond. Chosen one, if this word resonates in your spirit, do not stay silent. Like this message, share it so others may be awakened. Subscribe so you stay connected to the stream of heaven's voice. And declare your alignment by writing the number 777 inches, the comments below. This is not just a number, it is a prophetic seal of completion and covenant. This is the day heaven interrupts your Thursday. Do not skip this moment. Chosen one, lean in closely. You were marked from the beginning. Before your parents even thought of you, before your name was ever spoken in the earth, heaven had already spoken it. Your life did not start when you took your first breath. It began in the eternal mind of God. The path you walk may feel uncertain. The battles you fight may seem endless. But the truth is unshakable. You are not an accident. Your existence was designed with precision. Every detail, your voice, your gifts, your temperament, your very presence was crafted with intention. You have walked through seasons of questioning, asking, why am I different? Why don't I fit in? Why do I feel like I'm on the outside? The answer is hidden in your origin. You were not meant to blend in. You were created to stand apart. As the apostle reminds us in his letter to the Ephesians, chapter 1, verse 4, for he chose us in him before the creation of the world to be holy and blameless. Beloved, this is not distant history. These words are alive in you. You were chosen long before you knew his name. Think back to the moments where you felt invisible, where you thought no one saw your struggle. Even then, heaven was watching. You did not escape notice. You were being shaped. Every rejection, every misunderstanding, every closed door became part of the molding process that separates the chosen from the crowd. Chosen one, being set apart, is not easy. It often feels like loneliness, like carrying a weight others do not carry. But this separation is sacred. Gold cannot remain mixed with common stone if it is to shine. Oil cannot remain hidden in the olive until it is pressed. Your life has been marked by the hand of God, and that is why it does not look like everyone else's. You may remember times when opportunities that looked good slipped away from you, times when people left you, or when your plans collapsed. In the moment, it stung. It broke you. But now look again. What if those very moments were divine protection? What if heaven was guarding the mark upon you so that nothing counterfeit could cling to your destiny? Beloved, the mark you carry cannot be erased. Even in seasons of wandering, even in times when you felt far from God, the mark remained. It is why you could not drown in despair, why you could not be consumed by darkness, why the enemy's plan never fully succeeded. You are still here because you are still chosen. And though the world may call it strange, though people may not understand why you feel so deeply, why you sense things others cannot, why you are stirred by whispers in your spirit, these are all signs that heaven placed something extraordinary in you. The chosen carry sensitivity, others do not. You are tuned to heaven's frequency. That is why noise disturbs you, why injustice moves you, Why silence often feels more full to you than words. Chosen one. The more you understand that you were marked from the beginning, the more peace you will carry into your present. You are not scrambling to build an identity, you are uncovering one already written. This gives you rest. You no longer have to compare yourself, compete, or prove your worth. You only need to walk in what has already been spoken over you. Your life is not starting from nothing. It is unfolding from eternity. That means your mistakes cannot cancel what God established. Your detours cannot erase His design. Even your weakness cannot override His mark. The hand that formed you is the same hand that upholds you. There is a reason you survived when others did not. There is a reason you kept moving when others gave up. The mark upon you sustains you. It fuels resilience. You do not even understand. It is why the enemy fears you. And it is why heaven invests so much in guiding you. Chosen one. Take a deep breath right now and realize you are not behind. You are not late. You are exactly where you need to be for the next unfolding of your story. The mark you carry ensures that your timing is aligned with heaven's rhythm, not man's clock. You are not forgotten in the crowd. You are etched into the palm of His hand. Every day you wake up with breath in your lungs is proof that your assignment is not finished. The same God who marked you before your beginning is carrying you toward your completion, and no force of darkness, no human opposition, no internal weakness can undo what He already declared. So, stand tall in this awareness. You are marked. You are sealed. You are chosen. Not because of what you've done, but because of who He is. Chosen one. Your tears were not wasted. Every night you cried alone. Every prayer whispered in silence. Every sigh no one else could hear. None of it disappeared into nothingness. Heaven has stored each tear, each ache, each hidden wound. The pain you thought no one noticed has been written in God's book, and the weight you carried in silence has been honored in eternity. There is a mystery in your suffering. Others may have mocked you, abandoned you, misunderstood you. They looked at your pain as weakness. But in truth, your pain has been your offering. You carried burdens too heavy for human shoulders. Yet you kept moving forward. You did not give up. And that persistence has been noted in heaven. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 56, verse 8. You keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. You have recorded each one in your book. Beloved, do you hear the weight of that promise? Not a single tear has been lost. Each one has value. Each one carries a testimony. Each one is a seed for the harvest you have yet to see. The world often discards tears as weakness, but in heaven, they are currency. They water the soil of destiny. They testify of endurance, of faith that survived storms, of love that refused to die. Every tear shed in secret has been a prayer louder than words. Your tears have spoken when your voice failed. Your tears have cried out when you felt silenced. And heaven has answered. Think back. Remember the nights you thought no one cared, the times you felt you were breaking apart inside. Heaven was closer than your own breath. Angels stood guard, even as you sobbed. And though you felt abandoned, you were being held. Though you felt unseen, you were under the gaze of the one who never blinks, never slumbers, never looks away. Chosen one. What you endured did not destroy you, it refined you. The tears washed away illusions. They purified your vision. They taught you how to distinguish truth from lies, light from darkness, loyalty from betrayal. The very pain you despised has become the foundation of the wisdom you now carry. Beloved, there is power in testimony, and your tears are part of that testimony. They do not just mark what you went through, they declare what you survived. They are proof that you are still standing, proof that the enemy did not succeed, proof that the story did not end in defeat. It may feel like your pain has only stolen from you, but in truth, it has built something within you that no thief can touch. Compassion, strength, depth, authority. These cannot be bought. They are earned in the midnight hours when no one is watching but God. That is why you are different. That is why you are marked. Chosen one. The tears you sow in secret will one day turn into joy you cannot contain. There is a reversal coming. A season where what was taken in sorrow will be restored in celebration. You will see beauty where ashes once lay, laughter where pain once echoed. And when that day comes, every tear you shed will stand as a witness that your God is faithful. Do not despise your tears. Do not look back at your weeping with shame, for heaven treasures what the world discards. Heaven honors what men mock. Heaven remembers what others forget. And heaven has not forgotten you. Now, I call you to do something prophetic, something simple but powerful. Right here, right now. Type these words in the comments. I am seen. Do not just write it as letters. Write it as a declaration. Write it as a testimony against every lie that told you otherwise. When you type, I am seen, you are aligning your voice with heaven's record. You are agreeing with the truth that no tear was wasted and no moment overlooked. This act may look small, but it carries weight. Because when you declare, I am seen, you are choosing to step out of invisibility. You are refusing the lie that you are forgotten. You are testifying not only to yourself, but to others who read it, that heaven watches, heaven cares, heaven records. Beloved, your story is not over. The pages ahead are being written with joy, with light, with restoration. But even the darkest chapters will not be erased, for they hold the evidence of your endurance, and endurance births authority, an authority that will make your words sharper, your prayers stronger, your presence heavier with heaven's reality. So let the world know your tears were not wasted. Let your own heart know your pain was not meaningless. Let heaven know you receive this truth. You are seen, you are treasured, and your story is far from over. Chosen one, dry your eyes. The next chapter awaits, and you walk into it not as one broken, but as one crowned with resilience, wrapped in divine remembrance, carrying the fragrance of tears turned into testimony. Chosen one. When darkness tried to break you, it underestimated the one who holds you. Every scheme, every whisper of despair, every sudden storm that came against you, it was never random. Darkness saw your potential before you did. That is why it attacked so fiercely. Not because you were weak, but because you carried a light that terrified it. Think about it. The pressure you faced was not ordinary. Others around you seemed to glide through life untouched. But you were targeted again and again. This is not because you were cursed. It is because you were marked. The enemy fights hardest against those destined to disrupt his plans. He hoped your struggles would silence you, but instead they refined you, as was spoken in the sacred texts of old, from the book of Isaiah, chapter 54, verse 17. No weapon forged against you will prevail, and you will refute every tongue that accuses you. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and this is their vindication from me, declares the Lord. Beloved, your story is proof of this scripture. The weapons were real, but they did not prevail. The accusations were sharp, but they did not define you. Chosen one, do you realize the magnitude of what you survived? When others broke under lesser storms, you kept walking. When betrayal tried to crush your trust, you learned to discern. When loneliness pressed in, you found strength. You didn't know you carried. Each attack was meant to destroy you, but instead it built an unshakable core within you. Darkness cannot comprehend resilience birthed in suffering. It expected you to fall apart. Yet here you stand. It expected you to curse God. Yet here you whisper His name even through tears. This is the paradox of the chosen. What should have buried you has instead planted you deeper into purpose. The battles you faced were not random. They were tailored to your calling. A warrior cannot rise without conflict. Oil cannot flow without crushing. Diamonds cannot form without pressure. You are who you are today because the breaking did not end you. It transformed you. Remember the moments when your heart ached so much you thought it would shatter. Even in that pain, heaven was near. Remember the voices that told you you were worthless. Heaven whispered louder that you were chosen. Remember the betrayals that cut so deep you thought trust was impossible. Heaven was writing resilience into your spirit. Chosen one. The very places of attack reveal your areas of authority. Did darkness attack your peace? You will carry peace that others cannot comprehend. Did it try to steal your voice? You will speak with authority that shakes atmospheres. Did it try to chain you in fear? You will walk in courage that sets others free. The enemy only attacks what he fears most. Do not despise the scars you carry. They are not signs of defeat. They are badges of survival. They are evidence that the darkness tried, but failed. Every scar holds a story of a weapon that did not prosper. Every wound turned into wisdom is a testimony of the faithfulness of God. Chosen one. You are stronger than you know, not because you avoided pain, but because you endured it. Not because you never stumbled, but because you kept rising. The fact that you are still here, still breathing, still reaching for light, that is victory. Do not minimize your survival. Celebrate it. Every day you live beyond the attacks is a declaration to hell itself that its power is broken. Every step forward is a song of defiance against darkness. Every breath is evidence that heaven's hand has preserved you. Beloved, understand this. You were never fighting alone. In the midnight hours when you thought no one was with you, heaven's armies stood guard. In the moments you nearly gave up, unseen hands held you steady. You did not survive because you are lucky. You survived because you are chosen. And now, you carry something unshakable. A person who has walked through fire and come out is not easily intimidated. A person who has faced betrayal and still loves is not easily hardened. A person who has seen the pit and yet stands is not easily moved. That is who you are now, resilient, refined, radiant, chosen one. Never forget, the darkness tried to break you. It gave its best shot. yet you are here. That alone is proof of purpose. Your survival is evidence of destiny. Your resilience is the testimony that heaven's word over you is stronger than any weapon formed against you. Lift your head. Your scars tell a story of glory. Your battles prepared you for victory. Your survival is not small, it is sacred. And the world will soon see the strength heaven already knows you carry. Chosen one, you have carried a fire that others cannot understand. It burns quietly inside you. Sometimes so hot it feels unbearable. Sometimes so hidden you wonder if it's even there. But this fire is not of your own making. It is not a personality trait, not a fleeting passion. It is the spark of heaven placed in your soul, and it refuses to die. Others around you may not see it. They may even feel uneasy when they are near you, because something about your presence disrupts their comfort. They sense the fire, though they cannot name it. This is why you have often felt misunderstood. You are not too much, you are carrying a flame the world needs, but does not yet know how to receive. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 20, verse 9. But if I say, I will not mention his word or speak any more in his name. His word is in my heart like a fire shut up in my bones. I am weary of holding it in. Indeed, I cannot. Beloved, do you feel it? That very verse is your reality. You have tried to stay quiet, to blend in, to suppress the intensity of your calling, but it does not work. The fire within will not be extinguished. Chosen one, fire is both beautiful and dangerous. It gives warmth, but it also consumes. It lights the path, but it also exposes what hides in darkness. The fire you carry unsettles those who prefer shadows. It calls them to change, to awaken, to face truth. That is why some reject you. They are not rejecting you, they are resisting the flame. You must understand your life is a torch. Think of yourself as someone walking into a cave full of people who have lived in darkness for years. The moment your torch is lifted, their eyes sting. Their comfort is disrupted. Some may lash out, but others, those longing for light, will be drawn to it. That is why your fire matters. Not everyone will embrace it, but those who do will find life. Beloved, fire also refines. Gold cannot become pure without fire. Likewise, your trials, your tears, your crushing seasons, they have all been the furnace shaping you into a vessel that can carry this holy flame without being destroyed by it. You may feel the intensity of those refining moments, but remember, it is the mark of your calling. You were chosen to carry what not everyone could. Do not despise the weight of this flame. Do not envy those who seem carefree without it. Their path is not yours. You were entrusted with fire because you were designed to carry it. And when the world grows cold, your flame will be the difference between despair and hope. Chosen one, if this word touches you, I ask something of you, not as an obligation, but as an act of alignment. Just as a torch must be lifted high to guide others, help this flame spread. Share this message, not because it is mine, but because it carries light someone else desperately needs. Like a lamp placed on a hill, it is not meant to be hidden. When you like this word, it is as if you breathe oxygen on the flame, making it visible to others who are stumbling in darkness. When you subscribe, you are choosing to keep walking near the torch so you do not lose your way. And when you share, you extend the fire beyond yourself, allowing warmth to touch those far from the source. Think of it like a campfire on a cold night. One person alone can freeze. But when the fire is passed from stick to stick, the circle grows brighter, stronger, warmer. Chosen one. That is what you are doing when you pass this message forward. You are inviting others to the fire. But even if few respond, remember this: fire does not measure its worth by applause. It simply burns. Your task is to keep burning, to keep shining, to keep carrying what God has placed in you. The response of others does not diminish the authenticity of the flame within you. Chosen one. Your fire is not small. It is not random. It is not fragile. It is fierce, eternal, unstoppable. And when you let it shine, when you walk boldly with it, you become a living reminder that light always wins over darkness. Lift your head. Let the fire glow in your eyes. Let it warm your words. Let it guide your steps. Let it shine in your presence. For you are chosen not just to survive this life, but to illuminate it. Chosen one. The edge of delay is dangerous ground. You may not even realize how close you are to it. Every time you tell yourself, later, tomorrow, next season, the cliff draws nearer. Procrastination seems harmless, like a soft cushion to rest on. But in truth, it is a thief disguised in patience. It steals moments you cannot recover. Heaven is speaking clearly now. You are one decision away from breakthrough, but you are also one decision away from missing it. Delay has a cost, and the enemy knows it. That is why he doesn't always attack you with destruction. Sometimes he simply lulls you into waiting just a little longer, pushing off obedience until your spirit feels numb. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of John, chapter 9, verse 4, as long as it is day, we must do the works of him who sent me. Night is coming, when no one can work. Beloved, the urgency in those words is not for history. It is for you now. Daylight is not forever. Opportunity has an expiration. Obedience delayed becomes obedience denied. Chosen one. Think about how many times you have felt the nudge. Pray, move, speak, step, and yet you told yourself you would wait. In those moments, heaven was calling, but hesitation held you. And though grace has carried you, grace is not a license to endlessly delay. There comes a moment when delay turns into disobedience. This is not spoken to condemn you, but to awaken you. Heaven would not warn you unless there was still time to respond. The very fact that you hear this message proves mercy is still reaching for you. But mercy will not chase forever. It waits. But it does not wait endlessly. Chosen one. The cliff edge of delay looks subtle. It looks like distractions, like endless scrolling, like small compromises, like telling yourself, I will focus later. Yet each small choice draws you closer to the edge. And when the edge crumbles, you realize what was lost cannot be recovered. That is why heaven interrupts you now. Do not underestimate the cost of delay. Think of the farmer who delays planting until the season passes when harvest comes. His field is empty. Think of the traveler who delays leaving until the sun sets. He finds himself stumbling in darkness with no path ahead. Delay robs destiny, not with violence, but with silence. Beloved, there is a sweetness to obedience. When you say yes in the moment, heaven speaks. The path opens, doors swing wide, strength flows. But when you hold back, when you say, tomorrow, you exchange divine acceleration for unnecessary delay. And the saddest part is, often you do not even realize what you missed. Yet here is the mercy of God. You are still breathing, still listening, still here. That means it is not too late. The cliff edge is near, but you have not fallen. This is heaven's rope extended to pull you back. Take it. Respond now, not later. Chosen one. Pause and let this truth settle in your heart. What you do with this moment matters. It will echo. It will shape tomorrow. It will open or close doors. And heaven is watching, not to condemn, but to cheer as you choose obedience. Now, I ask you to mark this moment with a prophetic act. In the comments, type this number, 444. This is not superstition. This is alignment. The number 4 often represents stability, foundation, and divine order. By writing 444, you are declaring that your house, your spirit, your decisions will no longer be unstable or delayed. You are choosing foundation over hesitation, obedience over procrastination. Do not underestimate the power of this small act. It is like placing a stone of remembrance, a marker that says, from this day, you refuse to delay. When others read it, they too will be stirred. And together, your voices will build a chorus that shatters the lie of postponement. Beloved, you are not standing here by chance. Heaven timed this moment so you would hear, you cannot go back and rewrite yesterday. But you can decide today. And when you do, tomorrow will not look the same. The edge of delay is near, but you do not have to fall. Step back. Step forward in obedience. Step into the light. Heaven is calling you to act while it is still day, while the door is still open, while the chance still stands before you. Chosen one, let your heart rise. Let your feet move. Let your spirit answer yes. Because the future is not waiting for a hesitant heart, it is waiting for your obedience. Now, chosen one, the sacred weight you bear is not a punishment, but a trust. Heaven does not place heavy mantles on weak shoulders. You were entrusted with burdens that others could not endure. Not because you were born stronger, but because you were marked to be strengthened by grace. The people around you may not understand why your journey feels harder, why your heart feels heavier, why you cannot simply move through life as lightly as others do. They look at you and see responsibility, seriousness, depth. Some may even misjudge you, calling you overly intense, too sensitive, or too spiritual. But they do not see what you carry. They do not see the unseen mantle resting on your life. The ancient words recorded in Romans, chapter 8, verse 18, still echo today. I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us. Beloved, your weight is not in vain. The glory hidden within you is greater than the burden pressing upon you. Chosen one, sacred weight feels like being pressed down, but in truth, it is what roots you deeply. Without weight, a tree's roots grow shallow, and when storms come, it topples easily. The weight of responsibility, of calling, of unseen burdens. has driven your roots deeper than most. You may not realize it yet, but you have become unshakable. Every time you felt overwhelmed, you thought it was weakness, but in reality, you were being trained to stand. Every time you asked, "Why me?" heaven whispered, "Because I trust you." Every tear you shed under the heaviness was counted. Every prayer muttered through exhaustion was heard. The sacred weight you bear is not to crush you, but to shape you. Chosen one, look at the patterns of your life. Notice how often you were the one others leaned on. Even when you were hurting, people came to you for comfort. Even when you felt empty, you poured out encouragement. This is the mark of someone carrying a mantle. Heaven entrusted you not just with your own journey, but with the ability to carry others in prayer, in presence, in love. Do not despise this. It is holy, even if others never thank you, even if they never recognize your role. Heaven has recorded it all. Every unseen act of kindness, every moment you carried someone else's weight in silence, it all matters. It all adds to the eternal story of your life. Beloved, the sacred weight is not about punishment, but about preparation. You are being prepared for a glory so great, it requires endurance, humility, and depth. Without the weight, you could not carry what is coming. Without the pressing, you would not be ready to hold the mantle. Think of the olive, crushed until oil flows. Think of the grape, pressed until wine emerges. Think of the coal, buried and pressured until it becomes a diamond. This is your story. The heaviness has not been meaningless. It has been the process of revealing treasure within you. Chosen one, sometimes you pray for the weight to be lifted, and heaven answers not by removing it, but by strengthening your shoulders. This is why, despite everything, you keep standing. You wondered how you survived, how you still breathe under the pressure. It is because the one who gave you this weight has also given you his strength. The world may never understand this sacred exchange. They see you carrying things they cannot see, yet they marvel that you are not broken. That is because your strength is not your own. Heaven sustains you. Heaven upholds you. Heaven pours into you, even as you pour out. Beloved, never confuse your weariness with weakness. Even the strongest warriors feel weary. Yet your weariness is a sign that you are carrying something real, something weighty, something holy. And each time you rise again, it proves that you are chosen for this very mantle. Chosen one. There will come a day when you will look back and see clearly why you bore what you bore. You will see the lives saved because of your prayers. You will see the chains broken because of your persistence. You will see the generations blessed because you did not drop the weight you were entrusted with. Until then, walk with quiet confidence. You may not always feel strong, but strength is not the absence of struggle. It is the choice to keep going in the midst of it. And that is exactly what you have done. The sacred weight you bear is proof of heaven's trust in you. It is a mantle that shines, even when unseen by others. And though the burden feels heavy now, the day is coming when you will see the glory that was hidden inside it all along. Lift your heart. Chosen one, what you carry is holy, and the one who entrusted you with this weight walks beside you, ensuring it will never crush you, but only complete you. Chosen one. Whispers surround your life. Sometimes they come in the form of gentle impressions, subtle nudges, or thoughts that feel almost too small to notice. Other times they come as coincidences, aligning circumstances so perfectly that you wonder if they could really be chance. But hear me clearly. There are no coincidences for the chosen. Heaven hides its voice in whispers, and those who are marked must learn to discern them. You may remember moments where you hesitated, wondering if that inner stirring was just your imagination. Yet later you realized it had been guidance. The job you almost took, but didn't. The relationship you stepped back from. The sudden delay that frustrated you but spared you pain. These were not random. These were whispers of heaven dressed as interruptions, as the prophet Elijah experienced in the first book of Kings, chapter 19, verse 12. And after the earthquake came a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire came a gentle whisper, chosen one. The challenge is this: whispers require stillness. In a world of endless noise, stillness feels unnatural, even uncomfortable. Yet without it, you miss the guidance that is shaping your path. The enemy knows this, which is why he fills your life with distractions. If he cannot stop your destiny, he will try to drown out the whisper, guiding you toward it. Think of the times you felt restless, unable to explain why you couldn't say yes to something everyone else celebrated. That restlessness was not weakness, it was the whisper of heaven. Think of the times when you suddenly felt peace in a direction that made no logical sense. That peace was not random, it was alignment. The chosen must learn that heaven's whispers often sound illogical to human reasoning, but they are perfect in divine timing. Beloved, whispers also test your trust. God could shout, he could command with thunder, but he chooses whispers because they require intimacy. Only those leaning close will hear. The whisper is an invitation to draw nearer, to trust more deeply, to walk not by sight but by faith. Chosen one. Whispers disguised as coincidences are heaven's way of guiding without overwhelming. They preserve your free will while gently steering you toward the destiny written for you. The missed bus that saved you from an unseen accident. The random conversation that opened a door you had been praying for. The quiet thought that told you to wait one more day. These are the fingerprints of heaven. The danger, however, lies in dismissing them. Many chosen ones spend years circling the same mountain because they ignore the whispers, waiting instead for a dramatic sign. But heaven does not waste spectacle on those marked by fire. You are expected to recognize the gentle nudge, to trust the inner stirring, to follow the subtle pull. Beloved, understand this. Learning to discern whispers is not about perfection, but about relationship. The more you lean into God, the more familiar his voice becomes. Like recognizing the voice of a loved one in a crowded room, you will come to know when it is him speaking, even in the faintest breath. And yet, whispers are not only about guidance, they are also about comfort. How many times have you been on the edge of breaking, only to feel an unexplainable calm? That was the whisper of heaven wrapping around you like a blanket. How many times have you felt unworthy, only to hear deep within you, "You are mine"? That was the whisper of love, louder than condemnation. Chosen one. Even your doubts are not hidden from him. He whispers through them. When you wondered if you were enough, he whispered strength. When you feared you were lost, he whispered direction. When you thought it was over, he whispered, "Not yet." Beloved, Whispers disguised as coincidences are the map of your life. They are heaven's way of weaving divine order into what looks like chaos. And as you grow, you will look back and realize the whispers were not random moments. They were the very thread holding your destiny together. So, learn to pause. Learn to listen. Do not despise the small stirrings, the quiet signs, the subtle coincidences. They are not small. They are the language of intimacy, the way heaven marks your steps without the world even noticing. Chosen one. Whispers are a sign that you are trusted. Thunder is for the crowd, but whispers are for the intimate. Heaven does not need to shout when you are close enough to hear the quiet voice, and you are closer than you think. Chosen one. The call to rise is not a suggestion. It is a summons. The time of waiting, of hiding, of shrinking back is closing. Heaven has been whispering, tugging, pressing you toward this moment. And now the voice grows louder. Rise. You have lived long enough under the weight of hesitation. You have allowed fear to silence your voice, doubt to weaken your steps, and delay to blur your vision. But heaven does not speak of who you were, it speaks of who you are becoming. You are being summoned into alignment with your true identity. Scripture says in the book of Micah, chapter 7, verse 8, "Do not gloat over me, my enemy, though I have fallen. I will rise. The Lord is my light." Beloved, these words are for you. Falling is not the end. Sitting in darkness is not defeat. Rising is your portion. Chosen one. Rising does not mean perfection. It means refusing to remain on the ground. It means taking trembling steps forward, even when your legs still shake. It means standing in identity, even while your past tries to whisper otherwise. Rising is not about what you feel capable of. It is about who walks with you. The enemy hoped that the falls of your past would keep you down. He hoped the weight of guilt, shame, or failure would convince you to stay small. But your very survival has disqualified his lies. You are here. You are alive. And that is evidence enough that you will rise again. Beloved, rising will look different for each season. For some, it means stepping out in courage after years of silence. For others, it means breaking free from fear and choosing obedience. For you, it may mean lifting your eyes after disappointment and daring to dream again. The specifics vary, but the truth is the same. Heaven is calling you upward. You may feel like you are surrounded by darkness, but remember, the smallest flame makes darkness retreat. When you rise, even imperfectly, you carry that flame, and others, still trapped in their own shadows, will see it. Your rising is not only for you, it becomes a signal of hope for those watching. Chosen one. Rising requires decision. You cannot wait for perfect timing, for the applause of others, for every fear to vanish. Rising means acting even in imperfection. It means trusting that heaven's strength will meet your step. It means remembering that the same God who called you will uphold you. Think of a seed buried underground. From the outside, it looks dead, forgotten, hidden. But at the right moment, it pushes through the soil, stretching toward light. That push, that rising, is not easy. It takes force, resilience, and determination. Yet it cannot remain hidden forever. You are that seed, The soil of pain has covered you, but the season of rising has come. Beloved, there is a roar inside you that cannot stay silent. The call to rise is not just about moving forward, it is about awakening to your authority. You were not designed to stay on the ground. You were not called to blend into the shadows. You are a light bearer, and the time to shine is now. Do not be surprised if resistance grows stronger as you rise. Darkness always pushes hardest at the breaking point of dawn. But the very resistance you feel is confirmation you are moving in the right direction. Do not retreat. Do not return to silence. Keep pressing forward, for your rising is inevitable. And now, beloved, I ask you to seal this word with a simple declaration. In the comments, type these words, I will rise. Just 3 words, but they carry the weight of destiny. Do not type them casually. Type them as a covenant, as a war cry, as a personal vow that no matter how many times you have fallen, you will rise again. When you write it, you are not just echoing scripture, you are defying the enemy's lies. You are saying, my failure is not final. My darkness is not permanent. My story is not finished. You are marking this moment as the day you chose to get up, to step forward, to live chosen, beloved. Rising is not optional. It is written into your DNA as one marked by heaven. You were never created to remain in ashes. The hand of God has always been lifting you, guiding you, sustaining you. All He asks is that you choose to stand. So, chosen one, hear the call clearly. Rise. Rise from the pain of yesterday. Rise from the chains of fear. Rise from the lies of insignificance. Rise into the fullness of who you are. For the world is waiting. Heaven is watching. And your story is not over. It is only beginning. Chosen one. The battles you have faced were never wasted. Each scar you carry, each storm you endured, each night you thought would never end, all of it has been forging a crown that waits for you. Pain is not just pain in the life of the chosen. It is transformation. Every blow you took became the shaping of your authority. Every tear shed became the watering of your harvest. The voice of God thundered in the book of James, chapter 1, verse 12. Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial. Having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life. Beloved, the crown is not given for avoiding battles, but for standing through them, and you have stood, chosen one. Think of iron in the forge. It is useless in its raw state. Only under fire, only under hammering, does it take the form of a weapon. That is you. Life's blows were never to destroy you, but to form you. The furnace you resented was the very place heaven was shaping your destiny. And now, you carry authority, not just in words, but in presence. Because when you enter a room, unseen battles testify for you. People may not know why they feel strength in your presence, but it is because the fire you endured is still glowing inside you. Beloved, your crown is not ornamental, it is functional. It is not for decoration, but for recognition. In the spiritual realm, it marks you as one who has overcome. In the eyes of heaven, it signifies you are ready to lead, to carry, to shine. Yet crowns are not given in private. They are placed in front of witnesses, and that is why your story must be shared. The crown you wear is not for you alone, it is for those who need hope, those who need proof that survival is possible, that victory is real. Chosen one, this is why I ask you now, do not keep your light hidden. Just as a crown shines when lifted, your story shines when shared. And in the same way, I invite you, like this word, if it speaks to your soul, share it, so another weary warrior can see the hope of their crown. And subscribe, so you remain connected to this continual stream of encouragement and truth. Think of it like a lighthouse on the shore. The light does not only serve the lighthouse keeper, it shines outward, guiding ships through storms, preventing them from crashing on unseen rocks. When you help spread this light, you are becoming that lighthouse for others, helping them find safe passage when the waves are high, or imagine a fire in the wilderness. One small flame cannot keep many warm, but when others gather and feed it, the fire grows large enough to give warmth and protection to everyone around it. By engaging, by sharing, by staying connected, you are adding fuel to the fire that keeps many alive in the cold of night. Beloved, this is not about numbers or algorithms, it is about souls. Every act of engagement is like ringing a bell in the valley, letting others know where safety can be found. Someone right now is wandering in darkness, waiting for the sound of that bell. You could be the one to ring it. And as you do, never forget, the crown is not only promised, it is being prepared even now. Every battle you endure, every test you pass, every time you keep walking when quitting felt easier, jewels are being set into that crown. It will not be plain, but radiant. It will not be empty, but full of stories etched into its design. Chosen one, the battles that crowned you will one day be the testimony that lifts others. Your scars will be the proof of your strength, your perseverance, the evidence of your identity, your resilience, the sign of your calling. And in the end, the crown will not just rest on your head, it will shine through your life. Lift your heart. Your battles did not bury you, they built you. Your crown is not distant, it is being fashioned. And your story is not small, it is a torch for those still fighting. So, stand tall. Beloved, the crown is yours. And the battles that tried to destroy you are now the very reasons you will shine. Chosen one. There are moments when heaven's voice grows quiet, not because it has abandoned you, but because it is waiting for your response. Grace is abundant. Mercy is deep. Yet there is a line where hesitation becomes rebellion, and rebellion becomes blindness. You are standing near that line, and heaven urges you to pay attention. The prophet Elijah spoke as recorded in the first book of Kings, chapter 18, verse 21. How long will you waver between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him. But if Baal is God, follow him. Beloved, this ancient cry still pierces today. Heaven is asking you, how long will you waver? How long will you delay surrender? How long will you live half awake? Chosen one. Mercy is a gift, but it is not a blanket to cover endless postponement. The door of grace is wide, but it does not stay open forever. There comes a moment when mercy knocks one last time, when silence falls after too many ignored invitations. You are hearing this because the door is still open, but it may not remain so. Do not mistake God's patience for indifference. Do not assume his silence means he has forgotten. In truth, silence is sometimes his loudest warning. It is the pause before the curtain closes, the breath before the final call. And right now, that pause is echoing through your spirit, urging you not to wait any longer. Beloved, you have felt it before, those times when you knew what was right, but chose delay. Times when you sensed conviction, but tried to drown it out. Times when you promised yourself you would change tomorrow, only to wake up unchanged. Heaven has been patient, but patience is not permission to drift forever. Mercy is holy, but mercy will not always shield you from consequences. There is a sobering truth in the life of the chosen. You carry too much light to wander into darkness without cost. Others may play with rebellion and seem untouched, but not you, because you are marked. Your steps are watched, and your choices ripple wider than you know. Chosen one, this is why heaven's warning sounds heavy. It is not because you are unloved, but because you are too loved to be left wandering. The call is urgent because your destiny is weighty. You are one act of obedience away from breakthrough, and one act of rebellion away from blindness. Remember, mercy is not weakness. Mercy is opportunity. It gives space for repentance, time for decisions, room for transformation. But mercy is not endless delay. It is the open hand of heaven stretched toward you right now, waiting for you to take hold. Beloved, the final knock of mercy is not meant to frighten you, but to awaken you. Heaven does not want to lose you. It does not want your light to dim, your destiny to slip, your story to fracture. That is why you are being stirred so deeply in this moment. You know this word is not casual, it is precise, aimed at the very hesitation in your soul. Do not tell yourself you have more time. Time is a fragile gift. None of us know how much remains. What matters is what you choose in the moments you are given. And this moment, right now, is one of those holy moments where eternity bends close to listen. Chosen one, you are not hearing condemnation. You are hearing love's urgency. A love that refuses to leave you half awake. A love that risks offending you in order to rescue you. A love that warns you because it desires to crown you. Beloved, hear this clearly. The window of mercy is open now. Step through it while you can. Do not let hesitation rob you. Do not let delay blind you. Do not let the comfort of someday steal the reality of today. Mercy is knocking, but knocks grow fainter when ignored. Choose to open now. While the sound still echoes, choose obedience while the light still shines. Choose surrender while the door is still unlocked. For the day will come when silence replaces knocking, and you do not want to find yourself on the other side of a closed door. Chosen one, you are marked for more. You were never meant to be trapped in indecision, never meant to waver endlessly. Heaven has placed too much within you to let you drift. That is why mercy comes like a final knock at your door. Will you answer? The time of wavering is over. The hour of decision is now. The voice of heaven is not whispering, it is calling with fire. Do not harden your heart. Do not look away. Do not miss this moment. Mercy still stands at your door, waiting for your answer. Chosen one. Prophetic signs are not random patterns. They are heaven's language woven into the fabric of your journey. You have seen numbers repeat, dreams return, moments align in ways too precise to be coincidence. These are not accidents, they are seals of heaven's hand over your path. The chosen walk under markers that others overlook, because heaven delights in leaving reminders along the way. You are seen. You are guided. You are not alone. Beloved. You may have wondered why certain numbers appear before you repeatedly on clocks, receipts, street signs, or even in your dreams. They are not there to confuse you. They are there to confirm you. Each one is like a divine fingerprint, a reminder that your steps are being directed. Chosen one. When you notice these repeating signs, pause and let your spirit breathe. They are not meaningless coincidences. They are heavenly breadcrumbs leading you forward. Just as a shepherd leaves marks on the path for his flock, heaven leaves these imprints for you, so that when doubt surrounds you, you remember you are not wandering aimlessly. Every number, every alignment is a whisper of belonging, a divine reminder that your journey is guided. The Apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, 2nd book, chapter 13, verse 1. Every matter must be established by the testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses. And so, when you see repeated signs, whether numbers, words, or circumstances, it is heaven giving witness. It is confirmation that you are aligned with a greater story. Chosen one. Prophetic numbers are more than digits. They are living symbols. They whisper of covenant, of promise, of divine order. They remind you that nothing in your journey is wasted, that every detail is under watchful eyes. They anchor you when doubt rises, pointing you back to trust. Think of Abraham, shown the stars as a promise of descendants. Think of Jacob, who laid his head on a stone and saw heaven's ladder. Think of Daniel, who was shown visions that revealed the unfolding of nations. Heaven has always spoken through symbols. Prophetic numbers in your life are part of that same language. Beloved, when you encounter them, do not dismiss them as chance. Pause. Ask, what is heaven saying to me? For often the meaning is not hidden from you. It is hidden for you to be uncovered when your heart leans close. The chosen are marked by this kind of intimacy. Others may walk past patterns without noticing, but you cannot. Your spirit stirs. Your heart recognizes the fingerprint of God. That stirring itself is proof of your calling. Chosen one. Prophetic numbers are not to be feared or worshipped, but to be received as signs of alignment. They are reminders that your life is woven into a larger design, and when you embrace that truth, even the smallest details begin to sing with meaning. Now, beloved, I ask you to take a step of response. Right here, right now. Type this number in the comments. 888. Do not take it lightly. 8 is the number of new beginnings, of resurrection, of stepping into what is fresh and alive. And when repeated 3 times, 888 becomes a seal of complete renewal. A declaration that you are walking out of what was old and into what is destined. Type 888, not as digits alone, but as a prophetic act. By writing it, you are saying, I step into new beginnings. I embrace resurrection in my story. I will not stay in what was. I will walk into what is. You are marking this moment in heaven's record, aligning your voice with the whisper of destiny. Beloved, there is power in prophetic response. When you see a number, when you hear a sign, when you sense a whisper, heaven waits for your answer. By typing 888, you are answering, yes, I hear, Yes, I align. Yes, I step forward. Do not underestimate what seems small. David's stone was small, yet it slayed a giant. The boy's lunch was small, yet it fed thousands. Your act may look simple, but it carries heaven's weight. It seals your step into the season of new beginnings that heaven is declaring over you now. Chosen one. Prophetic numbers are not empty repetition. They are evidence that heaven bends low to remind you. You are chosen. You are guided. You are walking a story greater than yourself. And 888 is your reminder today that endings are not your identity. Resurrection is. Renewal is. New beginnings are. Lift your eyes. See the patterns with fresh wonder. Hear the whispers with renewed trust. And mark this moment with faith. For heaven has placed a sign over you that no darkness can erase. Chosen one. Doors of destiny do not stay closed forever. Though you have stood before locked gates, though you have knocked and heard only silence, though you have pressed and found no movement, do not despair. What felt like delay was divine timing. What seemed like rejection was hidden protection. And now, the season of shut doors is giving way to sudden openings. You must understand this. Destiny doors are not like ordinary entrances. They are not opened by human effort, nor by manipulation, nor by the approval of others. They are moved by the hand of heaven. And when the time comes, no force of darkness, no opinion of man, no weakness within you can keep them closed. As the Spirit declared in the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 8z. I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut. I know that you have little strength, yet you have kept my word and have not denied my name. Beloved, this word is carved into your life. The door is before you. It is not locked. It is open, waiting for your step of faith. Chosen one. Think of the years you waited, the prayers you prayed, the patience that wore thin. You wondered if heaven had forgotten. You saw others advance while you remained in place. Yet what you could not see was the unseen hand of God preparing the way behind the door. Had you walked through too soon, you would not have been ready. The delay was not denial, it was preparation. Destiny doors require preparation because they lead to weighty places. They are not about convenience, they are about calling, and calling requires character. The pressing seasons you endured were not wasted. They were shaping you so that when the door opened, you would not collapse under the weight of what awaited. Beloved, you may recall moments when you tried to force a door open. You knocked harder. You pushed harder. You begged for it to move. Yet heaven held it shut. Not because it was cruel, but because it was kind. A premature entrance can be more dangerous than no entrance at all. Heaven loves you too much to let you walk into destiny unprepared. And now, the shift has come. The hinges are moving. The barriers are lifting. What was locked yesterday stands open today. This is not a moment to hesitate in fear, nor to look back at closed chapters with regret. This is the hour to step forward. Chosen one. Open doors often look ordinary at first. They may come disguised as small opportunities, quiet invitations, or unexpected connections. Do not despise what looks small. Remember, David's destiny door was not a throne. At first it was a shepherd's field, then a battlefield against Goliath. Joseph's door was not a palace. At first it was a prison. Destiny doors are often wrapped in humility, yet they carry the power to shift your entire story. Beloved, the enemy will try to convince you that the door is still locked. He will whisper fear. You are not ready. You are not worthy. This is not the right time. But he is lying, as he always has. For when heaven opens a door, it is open. Your role is not to question endlessly, it is to walk through. Think of the Israelites standing before the Red Sea. To them, it looked like a wall, yet in heaven's timing, it became a path. What appears impossible becomes possible when heaven decrees it. This is the nature of open doors. They defy human limitation. Chosen one. Your destiny is not waiting on approval from man. It is not dependent on whether others open their arms to you. It is determined by the one who holds the keys, and he has already declared that an open door stands before you. Do not waste this moment gazing at the frame of the door. Walk. Step through, even if your knees shake, even if your hands tremble. Step, because once you cross the threshold, you will realize everything you endured has been preparing you for this very place. Beloved, destiny doors are not only about your advancement, they are about your assignment. When you walk through, you are not walking for yourself alone. You are carrying the light for others who will follow. You are stepping into influence that will ripple beyond your own life. Your obedience to step through affects generations. So, chosen one, lift your head and fix your eyes. The locked gates of yesterday are behind you. The open doors of tomorrow stand before you. And heaven whispers now, step boldly. For what no one can shut has been placed in your path. Chosen one. Not every voice that speaks into your life is meant to be followed. You have felt the tension of this truth. At times, words have come dressed in comfort, yet they carried poison. Promises sounded sweet, but they pulled you into confusion. Appearances were convincing, yet something deep within your spirit resisted. That resistance was not paranoia, it was discernment. Heaven was warning you to test the voices that seek your trust. Beloved, counterfeit voices often mimic the real. They come clothed in light, quoting fragments of truth, sounding wise, sounding spiritual. But their motive is not to guide you, it is to manipulate you, and without discernment. The chosen are vulnerable to being deceived, not because they are weak, but because their hearts are open, compassionate, willing to believe the best in others. The Apostle warns us in the second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 14, and no wonder, for Satan himself masquerades as an angel of light. Chosen one. Let this sink deep. Not every bright face is light. Not every inspiring word is divine. You must test the source. Think of the Garden of Eden. The serpent did not come with obvious hatred. He came with questions, with subtle twisting of truth. He made Eve doubt what she already knew. And in that doubt, deception found entry. The same tactic continues today. Counterfeit voices sow doubt, not faith. They create confusion, not clarity. They lead you inward to fear, not upward to trust. Beloved, you may remember times when you followed a voice that seemed right but left you empty. Perhaps it was the counsel of someone who appeared wise but led you into compromise. Perhaps it was the lure of opportunity that promised advancement but drained your spirit. These were lessons, painful but necessary. They trained you to discern. Chosen one. Discernment is not suspicion. It is not living in fear of everyone around you. It is the ability to weigh voices against truth, to test fruit against words, to sense the spirit behind the sound. True voices of light align with peace, humility, and the Word of God. Counterfeit voices, no matter how polished, always leave a residue of unrest. This is why your spirit sometimes feels uneasy, even when your mind cannot explain why. That unease is a gift. It is heaven's way of alerting you. Do not dismiss it. When you feel that holy discomfort, pause. Do not rush. Wait until clarity comes. Beloved, the chosen cannot afford to blindly follow every whisper. Your calling is too great. Your influence too wide. Counterfeit voices will try to derail you because they know that if you rise fully, you will disrupt darkness itself. That is why the attacks often come not as obvious lies, but as near truths, close enough to sound right, twisted enough to lead astray. Chosen one. Learn this rhythm. Test before you trust. Test words against scripture. Test opportunities against peace. Test relationships against fruit. Heaven never fears being tested, because truth always stands. Counterfeit voices, however, crumble under the weight of examination. Beloved, you may feel weary from discerning, as if the constant testing drains you. But remember, discernment is not a burden, it is a safeguard. Like a lock on a door, it protects what is precious inside. Your spirit is precious. Your calling is precious. Your destiny is precious. That is why heaven equips you with discernment. So no counterfeit voice can rob you of what has been entrusted to you. And yet, discernment does more than protect, it empowers. When you learn to distinguish between true and false, you walk with confidence, no longer tossed back and forth by every opinion. You become steady, no longer deceived by polished lies. You see through them, and when others are confused, your clarity becomes a light to them. Chosen one. Take courage. You do not walk blind. You are not left defenseless. The same God who marked you also trains you. The spirit within you whispers when danger is near, confirms when truth is present, and strengthens when deception tries to enter. You are not alone in this battle. Beloved, do not fear the presence of counterfeit voices. Their existence only proves the value of your calling. No one counterfeits what has no worth. The very fact that deception tries to target you is evidence that your light is real. Your destiny is weighty, and your influence matters. Stand tall. Do not waver. Let your spirit stay alert. Your ears tuned to heaven. Your heart anchored in truth. For when you walk in discernment, counterfeit voices lose their power. And the only voice that shapes your destiny is the voice of the one who chose you. Chosen one. The path you walk is not only about you. You carry something that stretches beyond your lifetime, beyond your circle, beyond your personal victories. The chosen are entrusted with generational mantles. What you do now, the choices you make, the obedience you give, will ripple into the lives of those who come after you. Your yes becomes a seed that others will harvest. Your faith becomes a bridge for generations not yet born. We are reminded through the words in Exodus, chapter 20, verse 6, "But showing love to 1,000 generations of those who love me and keep my commandments. Beloved, this is your inheritance and your responsibility. The mantle on your life is not light. It carries the potential to break curses and release blessings for generations yet unseen. Chosen one. Think of a runner in a relay race. The baton they hold is not just for them. It must be passed. If they stumble or refuse to run, the chain is broken. But if they run faithfully, they extend victory beyond themselves. That is you. You hold a baton of light, of faith, of obedience, and heaven watches not only how you run, but also how you prepare the path for those who will take it after you. You have likely felt the weight of this. At times, your struggles have felt heavier than those around you, your battles more relentless, your tests more intense. This is not because you are weaker, it is because you are a breaker. You are chosen to confront patterns that ran through your family line for generations. What others accepted as normal, you could not. What others endured in silence, you resisted. This is evidence of the mantle you carry. Beloved, mantles are not glamorous, they are costly. They press you, stretch you, demand more than comfort allows. But mantles also transform. They give you authority to stand where others fell, to speak where others were silent, to heal what others ignored. Every time you chose integrity over compromise, prayer over despair, obedience over rebellion, you were not just deciding for yourself, you were shifting history. Chosen one. Imagine a tree planted in a dry land. Its roots push deeper than others. Its branches strain harder for the light, and its trunk bears the pressure of winds. Yet when the rains finally come, this tree becomes shelter for many. Your life is that tree. The pressure has made your roots unshakable. And one day, countless others will rest in the shade of your obedience. This is why your story matters. Not only for you, but for those tied to you. Every battle you win becomes an inheritance for your children, your community, your spiritual lineage. Every curse you break becomes a blessing, released. Heaven looks at you and sees not just an individual, but a gateway for many. Beloved, this is also why I ask you to partner with this message. Like this word, if it has stirred your spirit, share it, so others may awaken to the mantle they carry. And subscribe so that you remain close to this flow of truth and encouragement. Think of it not as a casual click, but as planting seeds. When you share light, you extend the mantle. When you stay connected, you keep the torch burning brightly in your own journey. And I also invite you to add your voice in the comments. Write these simple words. I carry legacy. Do not write them lightly. Write them as a declaration, a confession, a vow, because when you put those words into the open, you align your spirit with heaven's perspective. You are not small, not forgotten, not random. You carry legacy. You are part of a divine chain that will outlast you. Chosen one. Mantles are both a burden and a blessing. They may make you feel different, set apart, even misunderstood, but they also crown you with purpose. You are not just surviving your own journey, you are pioneering paths for others. When you lift your voice in prayer, you are shaking chains off people you may never meet. When you resist temptation, you are breaking cycles that would have trapped those who follow. When you walk faithfully, you are opening doors wider than you will ever see. Beloved, do not despise the mantle. Do not shrink under its weight. Instead, rise to it. Wear it with humility, but also with boldness, for heaven would not entrust you with something so great if it had not already equipped you. The oil on your life is not only for you, it is for generations. So, run faithfully, carry the baton with courage, wear the mantle with honor, and remember, your obedience today becomes someone else's freedom tomorrow. Chosen one. Glory is not something distant, waiting only in eternity. It is breaking into your present. Even now, the mantle you carry, the scars you bear, the prayers you've prayed in silence, these have prepared you for a radiance that cannot be hidden. You are stepping into irresistible glory, the kind that does not exalt you, but reveals the one who marked you. Glory is weighty. It is not merely light shining, it is the presence of heaven resting upon you. It is the kind of atmosphere that shifts rooms when you enter, not because of your eloquence or strength, but because you carry something beyond yourself. People may not be able to explain it, but they will feel it, the undeniable sense that heaven is near when you walk in, as was proclaimed in the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 14. For the earth will be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord. Chosen one. Irresistible glory is not about appearance, fame, or recognition. It is about presence. Think of Moses, who descended from the mountain and carried a radiance that made people shield their faces. He did not ask for it. He did not orchestrate it. It overflowed from the encounter he carried. This is what awaits you. Glory is the evidence of intimacy with God. You have walked through seasons of obscurity where it felt like nothing was changing. Nothing was visible. Yet in those hidden places, glory was being woven into your spirit. Just as gold is formed deep within the earth before it shines in the light, you were being formed in silence before heaven's glory could be revealed through you. Beloved, glory cannot be faked. Counterfeits, my imitator style, words, or gestures, but they cannot replicate the weight of true presence. That is why people who carry authentic glory shift atmospheres without trying. It is not about performance, it is about being. It is the result of surrender, of intimacy, of being refined until nothing remains but the reflection of God. Chosen one. Irresistible glory is also irresistible to nations. Your influence will stretch further than you imagine. Because glory attracts the hungry, it pulls on the lost, comforts the broken, and convicts the hardened where arguments fail. Glory softens where explanations fall short. Glory convinces. This is why your life cannot remain small, because the glory you carry is meant to reach beyond borders. Do not shrink back when you sense this weight rising within you. Do not dismiss it as imagination when others respond to your presence with tears, peace, or conviction. This is not coincidence, it is evidence. Heaven is revealing itself through you, and you are being called to steward it. Beloved, stewardship of glory requires humility. Glory is never about elevating yourself, but about pointing upward. It is like being a window through which sunlight streams. You are not the source, but you are the vessel. To carry glory well is to remain transparent, so that all who look do not see you alone, but the one shining through you. chosen one. Nations are not always crowds of thousands. Sometimes they are the handful of lives entrusted to you in this season, your family, your friends, those who cross your path. As you walk in glory, they are touched, and as you remain faithful, the reach of that glory expands. Do not measure its impact by size. Even a single spark in darkness can light the way for many. Beloved, this glory you are stepping into is not only about influence outward, it is also about transformation inward. You will notice fear losing its grip, shame dissolving in the light, heaviness replaced by joy. Glory changes you before it changes others through you. It aligns your heart with heaven until peace becomes your atmosphere, hope your fragrance, love your reflex. Chosen one, you are not stepping into something temporary. Glory is eternal. What begins as a flicker now will blaze into fullness in the life to come. Every glimpse you experience here is a foretaste of the day when the knowledge of His glory truly covers the earth. Until then, you are a living preview, a testimony of what is to come. So walk with lifted head, carry the weight with reverence. Let the glory shine, not through striving, but through surrender. For you were never chosen to live dim. You were chosen to burn bright, to radiate irresistible glory until every place your feet touch feels the nearness of heaven. Chosen one, the journey you have walked has not been light, nor has it been without cost. Yet every valley, every battle, every tear has brought you to this moment. The final vision written over your life is not one of defeat or insignificance, it is one of triumph. You are crowned at the finish, marked with authority, walking in the fullness of destiny fulfilled. From the very beginning, you carried a promise sealed by heaven. It did not always look like victory. Many times, it looked like loss. Many times, it felt like silence. Yet, every step was leading here, to the moment when heaven places the crown upon your head and declares, "You have overcome." It was proclaimed in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 4, verse 7 through 8. I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. Now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day, and not only to me, but also to all who have longed for His appearing. Beloved, these words are not only for Paul, they are for every chosen one who endures to the end. They are for you, chosen one. Understand the weight of this imagery. The crown is not simply a symbol of honor, it is the testimony of perseverance. It declares that you stood when others fell. It affirms that you did not abandon your faith in the fire. It reveals that your obedience was not in vain. Every scar you carry is now embedded as a jewel in that crown. The authority that comes with this crown is not the kind the world celebrates. It is not about titles, applause, or recognition. It is spiritual authority, heaven's stamp upon your life that darkness cannot deny. When you walk crowned, chains break. When you speak crowned, atmospheres shift. When you pray crowned, heaven responds. Beloved, you have been prepared for this. Your endurance through hidden seasons shaped you. Your tears watered the ground of your calling. Your scars proved your resilience. And now, heaven declares that nothing has been wasted. The crown you carry is not borrowed, not temporary. But éternel, chosen one. The crown is also generational. When you wear it, you are not only crowned for yourself, you are crowned for those tied to your obedience, your children, your family, your community. Even those who do not yet know your name will feel the weight of the authority you carry. The blessing flows outward, rippling far beyond what you see. The crown is also a mark of completion. The struggles you once thought endless find resolution. The chapters you feared were failures are revealed as training grounds. The unanswered prayers you carried in silence are answered in ways greater than you imagined. In the crown, you see the whole story, not random pieces, but a masterpiece woven with divine intent. Beloved, this crowning is not about perfection. It is about faithfulness. You stumbled. Yes. You questioned. Yes. You wrestled. Yes. But you kept going. And that is what heaven honors, not flawless steps, but persistent faith. The crown belongs not to the unscarred, but to the unbroken in spirit. Chosen one. Lift your head and see yourself as heaven sees you, crowned, radiant, unshockable. The same enemy who tried to bury you now trembles at the sight of you crowned. The same battles that once seemed to destroy you are now trophies in your hand. The same journey that felt endless now shines as testimony that you were always chosen to finish. Beloved, walk with this truth. The crown is not only your destiny, it is your identity. You are not a wanderer hoping for scraps. You are royalty clothed in glory. You are not a failure struggling to recover. You are a conqueror crowned in righteousness. You are not forgotten. You are enthroned in remembrance, forever marked as God's chosen. And so the journey closes, not with despair, but with triumph. You have walked the valley, fought the fight, endured the silence, resisted the lies, carried the weight, discerned the whispers, risen from the ground, stepped through the doors. And now you are crowned, chosen one. Never forget, the finish is not the end. It is the beginning of glory upon glory, and the crown you wear now shines as a promise of the greater crown awaiting in eternity. Chosen one, you have walked through every section of this message, and by now you know you are not ordinary. You are marked, entrusted, crowned with purpose. These words were not random, they were an unveiling of who you already are. The weight you've carried, the battles you've survived, the whispers you've discerned, the fire within you, all of it points to one truth. You are chosen for this exact moment in history. And now, what will you do with what you've received? Light is never meant to be hidden. When a torch is lit, it shines for all to see. Your journey is that torch. Your story is a flame that can guide others out of their own shadows. So I ask you gently, with all sincerity, help this flame spread. Like this word, if it stirred something within you, share it so that another soul, scrolling in silence, may find the reminder that they too are chosen. Subscribe, not just as a button pressed, but as a commitment to keep walking in the flow of heaven's encouragement. And I invite you, finally, to leave your mark in the comments. Write with boldness these simple words: I am chosen, not as a casual phrase, but as a prophetic declaration over your own life. Each time you say it, you silence the lies of insignificance. Each time you write it, you align with the truth of heaven's voice. And when others read it, They too will be stirred to claim their crown. Beloved, this journey is not ending here. It is only beginning. Carry this word with you. Live it out. Spread it wide. For you are chosen, crowned, and unstoppable.